Hello parents, I'm Mr. Vaughan and I'm going to be your student's English teacher this year in the middle school. Unfortunately, I could not be here due to a prior engagement. A little bit about me, this is my second year here at Kingsway. Last year I taught English in the high school with sophomores and seniors. I also coached basketball and track with the middle schoolers. So there are some 8th graders that were familiar faces from when I coached, and then it's also crazy because I've seen a lot of siblings from the high school that I taught last year. I'm very excited to be here in the middle school teaching. One of my favorite parts about Kingsway is that the kids are awesome. They're super respectful and super polite, and it seems like every day when we get to the end of a period, there's always multiple students that are coming up to me saying thank you before they leave to go on to the next class. So I want to thank you, the parents, for being awesome and raising your kids to be so respectful and polite like they are. For the 8th graders this year, one of the things that we are going to be doing is we're going to be exploring the genres in our reading. As most of you probably know, they've started their biographies. They've chosen a biography to start reading. And we're kind of going to go through different genres throughout the year and kind of explore that genre with the biography. Something we've done in class to kind of expand their learning about it is we've read excerpts from other biographies, such as Rosa Parks' story about the incident that happened on the bus. And we also, now this week, are reading Tuesdays with Maury, just like a little bit, and kind of talking about biographies and what we can learn from them. Some of the other genres we will do throughout the year include realistic fiction, historical fiction, we'll do romance and fantasy, along with a couple others. Something else that we'll do is there will be 2 books that we read as a class together, one for each semester. I haven't decided exactly which ones we'll do, but some of my choices are Night by Elie Wiesel, Between Sundays, Old Man in the Sea, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. With the 7th graders, we won't do exploring the genres, but they will do some free reading where they read books of their choices. Basically, during this time, they'll have time in class where they'll just have a book out that they'll read. It'll also be used for when we get done early in class and they might have extra time while others are working. They can pull out their book and read. They'll be reading about 1 book a month. This week, what we're currently working on is 7th graders are working on their first narrative essay. Last week we began with some brainstorming and they brought it down to where we kind of expanded on our ideas, and now they're going to be writing a full essay. When people ask me what students are going to learn about in English class, I usually say we're going to do a lot of reading, we're going to do a lot of writing, and we're going to do a lot of speaking. All in kind of a variety of ways. For writing, we will be writing in the form of journal entries, and we'll be doing article of the week reflections, as well as various types of essays like persuasive essay, narrative essays, expository essays. When we read, we'll read articles. We're going to be reading different short stories. We'll read some poetry, along with the books that we've talked about that we'll read. As far as speaking, I do want them to speak in the class. Sometimes it's as simple as speaking to the partner next to them about what they thought about something. Sometimes they're going to speak in groups, usually of 4 to 5, and then there will be times where they'll be speaking in front of the whole. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the classroom library. As you can tell on the shelves over there, I do have a collection of books for students to choose from if they want to. These books have come in from donations, and they're kind of geared towards young adults, so they're meant to kind of get a variety and selection of literature that students would be interested in. With that being said, make sure you're just talking to your kid about what books they're reading during our free reading program. Something else you may notice is that many of the shelves are still empty and there's plenty of space, and so I'm always accepting donations. If you have books laying around that you think students may be interested in, please bring them in for donations. The more books I have in the library, the more selection there is, and the more likely it is for each student to find something they're interested in. Once again, I want to apologize that I wasn't able to make it in tonight. I will be available for conferences when they come around. If you have any immediate questions, please email me at austinvaughan@kwcs.org. Thank you.